The Forum in Inglewood, California, where the 1987
Forum,
NBA
Inglewood,
Championship will
California.
be decided either this afternoon in number 6.
Game 6, 1987. Magic MVP. Taking out the Celtics in 6. Yeah. Great Brent Musburger on the call. This is a show about games 3, 4, and 5. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about 3 and 4 and how we got there, and talk about game 5 tonight. 7:08 here on the East Coast. Game 5 tonight in Denver. Really looking forward to it. The NBA season has a chance to come to an end tonight. And I have to say, the reason why we're the best, I'm telling it like it is here. Cold, what would happen in game 3 when the Heat went to that zone. We told you that Joker would go down to the running the baseline in the short corner and hit the cutters. And you got Christian Brown off like crazy. And we'll talk about that. So game 3, they went zone quickly, but they kept Joker in the high post for a couple of possessions. But then they moved him down to that short corner, and he's like such a great passer. Plus, he can see over the top of the zone. Always helps you for a big guy to pass in that situation. He sees over the top and makes good reads. And in game 3, just an abomination on the backboard. Just a 58-33 slapping on the backboard for the Nuggets to the Heat. Just an incredible game. And these last 2 games have shown the flexibility of the Nugs. The thing is, look at the statistics and things like that, which we'll do in a minute. But if you look at the main statistics here, as we referred to also on this program, which again, why people are swimming in our wake. We talked about the Beatles, as I called them, the 4 guys on the Heat who make the difference in shooting. Charlie's entering the room here. Wants to extend his contract. How you doing, Charles? They went 9 for 37 in the first game, 17 for 32 in the second game. You're not losing doing that. Third game, 10 for 32. Fourth game, they go 11 for 29. We'll get to the fourth game a little bit later. But the 58-33 ass kicking on the backboard is enormous. And, Joker had such a great game in game 3, 32, 21, and 10. And him and Murray did something that's never been done before. 2 triple doubles, both in the NBA Finals game with, 10s as far as, assists and rebounds. And, of course, the points of 30 points. And then, Nikola does 30 and 20, which is really rare in that situation. And Jamal goes, 34 and 10, 34 triple double as well. So pretty crazy. Michael Porter did not play well on the offensive end, but still 7 rebounds, was a lot more active. I know he's missing his shots, hasn't shot well from 3. Aaron Gordon was a beast again, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists in that game. Joker is the best player in basketball, and it's just not even worth talking about anymore. He's so good. Pope hadn't shot it well, got to the free throw line 4 times to get 3 boards. Did some good things. Jamal stud, 12 for 22, 34 and 5. Bruce Brown, just great job. 5 points off the bench, plus minus. But Christian Brown was the difference in that game. When the game got a little bit tighter, Christian went off a little bit. 7 for 8. Jeff Green, 2 for 2. You just can't do a better job than that. Christian Brown was just so aggressive, finishing in transition and just making an impact in every way. When you look at the box score for the Heat, Jimmy is definitely not being as aggressive. Although 11 for 24, good amount of shots, got to the free throw line 6 times. In every game in the series, he's gotten to the line more and more. We'll see how he does tonight in game 5. 28 points for Jimmy, 4 assists, which is the key stat for him. And obviously only 2 boards. Bam has been great in the first half of game 3, but in the second half really didn't do anything. Went basically like 1 for 11. Got 17 boards, 22 points, so you can't blame him there, but a 7 for 21. And people were talking before the game that he'd be MVP if there was a series win Miami's way. He's getting his ass kicked in that regard, so I don't understand it. Max 1 for 7. Gabe 2 for 10. Caleb 4 for 9. Duncan 3 for 6. And here's where I'm going to start tonight. Kevin Love and Duncan Robinson have not played enough. And you'll see some good numbers also for both of them in game 4. And I know what you're thinking. As a coach, you sit there and you say, well, Jesus, God, what defense am I going to play? Well, you might have to play some different zones. And Kevin Love did a great job in game 4 in defense, which we'll talk about in a minute. But Duncan Robinson has to be on the floor. 3 for 6. 9 points. He's not getting enough shots. You got to get him some shots. I mean, I know on the man-to-man side of the ball, he's just picking up cheap fouls pretty quickly. Game 4, he picked up some really bad fouls early because he just can't move his feet. But what I'm saying to you is this guy's got to be on the floor. Kyle Lowry's been pretty solid. I don't call him one of the Beatles because he's been an NBA All-Star before. 9 points for Kyle, 4 for 8. pushed the tempo well, 5 assists. I think he needs to play more than 29 minutes. Zeller did his job, six minutes and things of that nature, but they got their ass kicked on the board that game. It's just not much you could say about that game right there. They got crushed on the backboard, 58-33, and when you lose like that, it's tough. There's not much you can say about it when you get your ass kicked like that. If you look at the game here, 58-33, 8 more assists, 7 more steals, turnovers though. Nuggets turned the ball over way too much, 13-4 in that game. Miami shot 37% though. Denver shot 51. Crazy stuff. Free throw line. The game wasn't as close as even the score indicates. Game 4, a different situation. Game 4, I mean, NBA conspiracy guys always get some room because the NBA does it. In game 2, Joker picks up 2 really bad quick fouls, couple of them offensive fouls where Vincent's grabbing his shoulder, and Joker picked up 2 quick fouls in game 5 and game 4 again. And you say to yourself, you just sit there and you wonder, like, geez, do they want to fix it that bad? I mean, really, it's so frustrating as a person watching the game because you just sit there and you wonder to yourself, like, what's the agenda? And so in game 4, Joker picks up 2 quick fouls, but Malone did something different in this game. He went to a switching defense. His lineup on the floor, he went really small, and they did a lot of switching on defense, and they did a great job. And you could see that it really worked. They took away some of the easier looks for the Heat. The Heat won as the Beatles went 11 for 29, those Fab Four in that situation. This game was about Aaron Gordon and Bruce Brown, and just did a fantastic job. However, I thought the biggest shot of the game was Jeff Green's 3 out of the corner when it was down to like a 7 at that point. He's kept trading baskets, and Jeff Green was wide open from 3, and he banged it. But if you look at the numbers here, Michael Porter, 11 points. Again, though, not shooting well, 4 for 10, but again, 3 boards, played good defense, did a solid job. Aaron Gordon was a beast, 27 points, 7 boards, 6 assists. And you know what? Great to see a guy like Aaron Gordon because he was the man in Orlando, and he's coming here, and he doesn't have to be the man anymore, but he's going to have a chance to get a ring, and I think that's more important in my book. Joker, they said, had a bad game, 23, 12, and 4 for him. That is a bad game, I guess. And right now, he's not averaging a triple-double probably. We'll see how he does tonight with that. This might affect his triple-double average through the playoffs. And by the way, his statistical run through the playoffs is the greatest single-year run of all time if you go by points, assists, and rebounds. Nobody else's have stacked up so far to the Joker. We'll see what he ends up with. We'll see what happens. But don't forget, even though it's 3-1, if you're Miami, you got to say to yourself, all we got to do is win 1 game. Because if you get to 3-2 tonight, you assume you're going to find a way to win at home after blowing 2 games. Well, not blowing 2 games, but losing at home. And then game 7 with all the pressure be on Denver. That's the false psychology behind that. If you're the Heat tonight, you're Denver, your psychology is we just got to take them out right away. But Miami's not going to go quietly tonight. Hope, I thought, did a good job in this game. 2 for 5, 4 rebounds, did a nice job. Jamal Murray only shot 5 for 17, but 12 assists. He's averaging the most assists in NBA Finals history through 4 games. Excellent job by him. 15 points plus minus 22. Bruce Brown, though, is the man. 8 for 11. So between Brown and Gordon, you go 19 for 26. You're not going to beat that. Bruce also 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and he had a great game. But I said Christian Brown only for 15 minutes, but did a good job. Jeff Green did an excellent job. When Joker had that 5 fouls, it got down to 5 a couple of times, but they held him off, and you got to give him a ton of credit. Jimmy didn't seize the day when that happened. 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 25 points. Kevin Love did not play enough. 4 for 6, made some good defensive plays. Only 18 minutes. Maybe that's all he's capable right now, and they're not telling us that in the media, but Kevin Love needed to play more the other night. Duncan Robinson, 5 for 7. So if you look at the 11 for 29 out of the Beatles, Duncan Robinson's 5 for 7. Caleb Martin's 5 for 12. So Vincent and Strus just didn't give you anything. You got to keep Duncan Robinson on the floor. I know he picked up got 4 fouls just playing. He can't play man-to-man. You got to try to find some other way to play zone, or maybe have him back off and play somebody else on the offensive end of the floor that maybe isn't a threat. KCP is a little streaky. Maybe have him guard Porter. I know Porter's a great athlete. You probably can't cover him, but at the same time, make him, try to have him back up, use some length, and maybe try to bait him into jump shots because Robinson needs to be on the floor. Lowry, I thought, played a pretty good game. 7 assists. He played a little bit more minutes, 32 minutes, 3 for 7. Like I said, 7 assists, 13 points. I think Lowry's got to play a little more. I thought Caleb Martin had a good bounce back game. Zeller did his job, and Max and Gabe between them 1 for 10. Just not good. And the bigger problem with tonight was Bam had 7 turnovers for a total of 14, while the Nugs only had 6. And when you look at the those kind of numbers there, we look at the game stats here. And again, the switching, they made a switching defense, and Mike Malone went really small there for a second. And you look at the statistics, the Heat won the battle of the board, which is kind of amazing. 11 steals, though, for the Nugs, 7 blocks, only 6 turnovers. And that's the hustle board right there, steals, blocks. And turnovers, 14 for the Heat, which is uncharacteristic for them. 3-point field goal percentage, so the Heat, 32%, Nugs, 50%. And that's where that game just gets away from you at that point. So here we are at 3-1 here in the NBA Finals. We're going to game 5 tonight, which should be really interesting. This is going to be a lot of fun. It kicks off about an hour and 10 minutes from now. I know Miami's definitely the favorite in the game. A lot of people are already talking about, questionable for game 5 is Tyler Hero. If I'm the Heat, I do throw him out there just to give you a little bit of a change up. Like I said, Kevin Love needs to play more. He's had a baby, so he'll play in game 5. So congratulations to Love and his family. Great to hear everybody's healthy. Mike Green gets his 100th broadcast today. So that's gonna be exciting. But it's some big questions for tonight's game. And, when you look at the preview there, and, they got to find a way, the Heat, to hang around early in this game. Although even if they get behind early, I would say that they're not going to go anywhere. I guess the Heat are just, just tough individuals. But, Mike Malone is not going to be foolish. Just a couple of things we're talking about there and around the NBA Finals here. Like I said, Love and Duncan need to play. A lot of people are talking about the best duos of all time. Well, no one ever did what they did in game 3 the other night. We recognize that. But at the same time, Joker and Jamal, like I said, no one's ever done that before. But then again, people talk about they're the best duo of all time. I mean, I almost drove off the side of the road. If you ever heard of Magic and Kareem, I'm not sure. If you never heard of them, geez, you ought to get together. Oscar and Kareem, Bird, McHale, Shaq and Kobe, Mike and Scotty. There's just so many great duos through history. Doc and Moses Malone. I mean, just some wonderful, wonderful Mo Lucas and Bill Walton together. Just some great duos in the history of this league. D Wade and LeBron. That's not even counting the triples. The trifectas in the league, not even the duos, and just so many great duos out there in history. So I don't think we should short people. It is such a bias towards presentism in this day and age. But again, tonight is I'm hoping for the Nugs. I really love Jimmy Butler, and I respect the hell out of Spoelstra. I think Spoelstra's one mistake has been the play, not getting Kevin Love in that game more, and not getting Duncan. And Spoelstra's a great coach. He's one of the best coaches in the league, if not the best coach in the league. But I thought there was a little bit of a mistake there. I liked how Mike Malone in game 4 did something he didn't do in game 3, getting Joker out at the end of the quarters, trying to preserve fouls. Again, Joker has 2 fouls in the beginning of the fourth quarter. It's absolute goddamn disgrace. I mean, these 2 offensive fouls, just total bullshit. And I don't know how that happens, but I probably won't be able to post on Instagram because they said bullshit, but we'll figure that out. But just, tonight, I'm really looking for the Nugs to close it out. His entire playoff run, Joker's 30, 13, and 9.8. So we'll see what he does tonight, and if he can get some assists tonight. That Denver crowd is going to be nuts. And what you have to hope if you're Denver is that Miami comes out and hyperventilates in the elevation. And if you're Denver, you got to be careful that you don't do too much in the elevation. If I'm Mike Malone tonight, I sub everybody a little bit earlier than normal because I think your guys are going to be pushing a little too hard, and I think that's a normal situation right there. So I think tonight, if you're Mike Malone, you got to get everybody in there early. Same with Spoelstra, but especially Mike Malone's guys, because they're going to be hunting it seriously tonight. And we're all really looking forward to it. It's going to be fascinating to see the game tonight. And we're all just so excited about it. I know we can't wait here in Shoulderland. There it is.
Oh, makes Gans great again. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to say again because I never were. And
yeah. No. Football music, man.